Hi, this is Tracey from Mindless Crafting, and today we're going to be making these adorable paper beads. They're super easy to make and a great way to use up your scraps. So let's get started. So for this project, you can use your scrap papers. I have some rainbow paper from my watercolor kit. You're going to need something like a skewer. So this is a skewer. I just cut it so that I can just have it be not as long. And then you're also going to need a ruler. And then we're going to string it on to this string here. This is what I'm using. And we can tie it off. And then you're also going to need these pear-shaped clips. So I have a ton of those. If you don't have this, you could use something else. So that can be like your dangle. But these are great for like a journal. And so I have some of those, and they come in this container. I'll post the link. I did find these on Amazon, and they come in all different colors. You're also going to need a needle because this is my journaling needle to do binding, because we're going to need to string that through there. Okay, twice actually. So you see that? And I didn't slip it on as tight, but we need that little part there so we can actually put it on our clip. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing you want to do, you want to take one of these longer strips. So the longer the strip, the thicker the bead. Okay, like this one here, I used a really long, actually I used two strips and got that effect on that one. That's why it looks so much larger than the other ones. This one I used a shorter one. So the more you ravel it around on your skewer or your toothpick, the bigger it's going to be. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to measure like a rectangle. And so let me see if I can get everything in there. So on the top, you're going to need for it to be slender, like right here. The bottom part, you're going to need it to be like a elongated rectangle. Let me just show you. Like that. So you're going to trace a line that's sort of like this, like a rectangle. So it's going to go at an angle. So let me just go ahead and do that. So I usually try to do more than one. Okay, so you see how that is? And now you're going to do another one. I'm going to go in the other direction. So it has that little pointed end there. You want that pointed end because that's what's going to make it look like this shape here. And you can try different shapes by cutting at different angles. And let's do another one. Let's go this way. Just lining that up. Let's go this way. And just depends on how many. So you see how that's wider? Look how wide that is. That's okay though. And then we're going to do another one here, and that's going to be really slender. So you can measure if you want yours to be exactly the same size. I don't want mine to be exactly the same. I kind of like the fact that they're different shapes and sizes. So this is what it should look like. Okay, so I traced on the opposite side. I did my lines. Here's another one. This is more like a scrapbook page, so it's lighter. This is a cardstock. This is actually 90-pound cardstock. So this is what this one looks like, because I thought it would look nice with some red in there or some pink, like a fuchsia pink color. All right, so then you're going to take your scissor and you're going to just cut it on that line. And you don't have to be precise, but it gives you a little bit of a guide having that line there. Go this way. I'm going to go this way, just opposite directions. Just keep cutting those. You can cut a bunch of these out and then roll them. So it just depends on how you want this to go. Okay, and then you got the wider one. That one should look pretty interesting. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of these out, and then we'll start rolling our beads. Okay, so this is what you should have, okay? And I'm going to start with one of these. This is the one that's more of like the cardstock. This one is more scrapbook paper. So you want to get some glue, and I've seen people use Elmer's glue. I've seen them use a glue stick. In the past, when I used to do programs at the library and do crafting programs, we would use Elmer's glue because it just was a lot cheaper and it went further and it still worked. I'm going to use my art glitter glue. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take this, let me show you, and you're going to start wrapping it around. You're not going to go completely around, and then you're going to add your glue. So you want to make sure that's somewhat tight. Okay, you're going to hold it in place there. And then you're going to wrap it, start wrapping it around. Okay, you may have to just play with it a little bit to get that little wrapping around there. Okay, so once you think you've got it tight enough, you just keep wrapping it around and try to keep it centered, because that's going to that's actually going to make your bead look a little bit more rounded, like that oval shape. So you want to keep it as centered as possible. And every so often I'm adding some glue on there. Every so often. But these are super fun to make, and you can make a ton of them. So I'm going to unwrap this a little bit because I see it's going like kind of off to the side there. And then just start rewrapping it again. But have fun with them. You might have to practice a little bit until you get it. But once you got it, you got it. And we used to add Mod Podge to these. After you have enough of them, you could Mod Podge them. You know, just take maybe a small paintbrush and just do a layer of Mod Podge. Okay, so this right here, you want to make sure get that little bit of glue on there and keep wrapping it around. So you see that? Now what you don't want to do is you don't want to have glue on the stick. And look how that seals that in. Look at that. See? So that's what the first paper bead. Look how quick that was. Okay, let's do one of these right here. And so let's go ahead and do the first wrapping around there. Roll it on, and once you're comfortable, you got it centered, now you just come on up with that. And you really do not need a whole lot of glue to hold these in place. And we did this during a live stream, but I always like to do the tutorial so you could just get the straight tutorial. See what I'm doing? Add a little bit more glue and roll it up. And this paper is working just fine. You can use newspaper, magazines. Magazines have that kind of shine, book pages. So yeah, let me know what you would use to make your paper beads. And it's very economical. And guess what? The kids love making these. You can make paper bead necklaces we've done. We've done bracelets years ago with the kids. So look at that. So now you have your next one, and you can color coordinate these, you know, if you want. But see, that just gives it a different effect on that one. And it's got a nice size hole in there too. So I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do this wider one on camera, and then I'll do a couple more off camera, and then we could actually string them on. Okay, so this one I'm just going to, it's a little bit longer on this one. Okay, just going to add a little bit of glue. Oh, I don't want to get it on my skewer. Yeah, but you can get a bunch of toothpicks and just do a bunch of these, and then go back and just slide them off, and you're ready to go. So I'm kind of going back and forth with this right now. Okay, I'm going to go back a little bit and add a little bit of glue in there now that it's rolling. Now we're rolling. And I'm trying to stay in camera so y'all can see this. And I really hope y'all give this a try. Or maybe this was something that you used to do and you kind of forgot about it. See, that's kind of loose on that one, but that's okay. Just keep on rolling. It's bright and sunny, so that you'll notice that it's very sunny. The room looks bright right now. Okay, so let me just come back a little bit. I kind of got off there a little bit, but that's okay. I'm just going to let that kind of come back to the center a little bit. And I'm just squeezing and rolling. I'm putting a little bit of glue there. You want to make sure you have glue on the end. And I'm getting all messy here, but that's okay. Having fun. Okay, so that's what this one looks like. So you see the difference when you have that longer one. I kind of like this one a little bit more condensed, smaller one, but it still works. Okay, so I'm going to do a few more off camera, then we'll come back and we'll start making our dangles. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our dangles. So you're going to need some string, and let's see. I'm going to do 2 of these. I think this will look pretty with the red. If you don't want it to be matching that much, you can use something. Here's a black one. Also, maybe I'll use that. I'm going to use that red one. But look at all the different colors that come in this. I love looking at that. Okay, oh, and we need one for this also. Let's see. This one right here looks really pretty. Yeah, let's go ahead and use that. Okay, so now we're going to take some string, and on here, if you notice, there's a little loop right at the top there. So you're going to need enough, just enough, and enough to tie a knot also. All right, so that's going to take up some string. So I have enough of this where I can like spare some, you know, if I need to. I just want to make sure that it's long enough. And then we're going to take the wide eye needle and thread it. And then we're going to string these on. So you just see what order you want to put these in. This one looks longer, so I'm going to take one of these first. Okay, and pull that through. And take this one, pull it through, and take this one and pull it through. But then I realized that I am going to need to have this on here. So let's go ahead and just clip that on. All right, hold on one moment. Let's just, like that, pull this through. I think I'm gonna have to run this through twice, so let's do it like this. All right, I'm gonna put my clip on here. Something like that. Sorry, y'all, I got the window open so there's people outside. Okay, and I'm just gonna run this back through. Got my little pin on there, leaving a little bit. I just don't want that pin to come, that thread to come back through with it. So it's gonna be stopped by the pin, right? So just thread that right back through and you have your, just pull it right on through, just like that. And you see that little loop right there? That's what I wanted, that little loop. Okay, now we can take that off. And we can tie this. Is that not easy? Just tie it off. And we'll do another one. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. And I'm just tying that off. I like the little knot at the end that shows the string. We'll do the other one with some jute twine. It's actually some baker's twine. We'll try this baker's twine because that looks kind of like, it brings out the color in that. Okay, and let's see, I'm going to tie another knot just because. And if you want to leave the string on there, you can. You don't have to, but I know sometimes with the journals, they look really cute with the string hanging off of it. So I'll just cut it a little bit right there. And that's pretty tight on there. So there we go. Look at that. Okay, let's try this one. Let's see. And see how these are thinner? Because the paper is not as thick. So those look a lot thinner. But imagine the different color combinations you can use. All of the scraps that you have left over, you can use with this, right? And it's minimal supplies. Okay, so I used a pretty good amount of that. Let's string this on here. And I don't know if y'all hear the wind. I love the sound of the wind, y'all. Okay, so let's go ahead and string this through. Just make that little loop there, right? You want the little loop to come through on there. Let's see. I'm going to take that off for a moment. I'm going to do it the same way I did it before, right? Not going to reinvent. And let's see how I want these lined up. Okay. Let's put the shorter one on first. That'll be closest to the bottom. Or maybe close to the top. Put that longer one on. Right, just pull it through. Put this one on, pull it through. And just before you get ready to pull that other end through, I'm just going to go ahead and clip this on. Because I feel like if I pull that all the way through, I have a feeling I'm going to pull all of the thread through, or all of the baker's twine through, and lose my little knot. So that's why I'm putting this on like that. Okay, so let me just clip that together. Okay, so I'm going right through again. And there you go. See it? So it stops it right there. And you can make a long, long one of this. You can put actual beads right in the middle of these. So there's so many different things. You can put one like at the top, middle, bottom, and over at the bottom part. And so pulling that through. And so now you got your dangle there. And let's tie this off. Let's see how much I want that to be tight like that. I think I want it to be a little bit tighter. I think that'll work. And then I just keep knotting it until I have a big enough knot so that it will stay on. And if you want, you can actually just have a bunch of these just hanging. You can do another one that hangs onto that one. The possibilities are endless. I'm just tying that off. Because once I show everything, I know you're going to get it. And you're going to love doing this. And so now you can color coordinate. If you have a journal, you can color coordinate it, right? And I could leave that string on there if I want. Dangling. Just up to you. So you have, I know someone has some twine and some string just sitting in their craft room right now, and they haven't used it yet. Okay. All right. I think that's good. And it looks like I'm going to have to wrap this up like this because it wants to come through still. So this is a little bit thinner. But that's okay. I like to leave all of it in there so you can see, you know, some of the little challenges. I'm not going to say struggle, just challenges, right? This is where you're in your craft room talking to yourself sometimes, like, to figure it out. And guess what? More than likely you figure it out, right? Okay, so that knot is really big. So that'll stay on there. Okay. So we're good now. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Look at that. Right? Look at that. And so now you can take this and you can add it to a tag if you want, right? So many different things you can do with this. Right? You can add it to a tag. Here's another tag right here. How adorable. Right? You can tie it on. Just bring it right through here and tie it on if you want. I'm going to put this back in the journal, so I don't want to tie it on, but just to show you what you can do with that. Right? And then there's another one here. You want to take this one and you want to put it on the cover of your journal or have it dangling from something. You can actually just open up the pen and pin it right on here. Look at that. And I'm sure there's so many more ideas. I know right now your wheels are probably turning and you're like, oh, I know what I can do with these. So now you have something to dangle from your journal. And it matches because it's the same paper. It's the same paper. So you might be looking for something that can match. And now you can just make the paper beads to match. But look how cute that is. So I hope that this helped you learn how to make some paper beads. I'm going to sit here and make some more. But I hope that this inspired you. And this may have been a craft that you did years ago and you're like, oh, I forgot about that. I can make more. Maybe it's a craft that you put down and now you're like, oh yeah, I want to pick this up again and start doing some more. So I hope this helped you. If you're not subscribed to our channel, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you've ever tried making paper beads before, or if you're even going to try for the first time. And if you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to our crafty family. We would love to have you be a part of a wonderful community. Y'all take care, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.